Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be showing how you can make your own calculator using Python and Tkinter. So Tkinter is a Python library for making GUI applications. So today we'll be building a calculator that will have just basic operation like division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, getting the percentage and doing the square root. So those are the only operation the calculator we are building will be able to do. So at the end of the video you'll be able to have created something like this. So this should be the application that your application should look like this one. So yeah, so by the end we can do the math like this here equals something like that. So those are this will be your end result when we are done with this video. So let's now start by importing the libraries that we'll be using. So as I told you, we'll be using Tkinter. So let's first import Tkinter. From Tkinter, import everything, and then now we'll import the RE library. So there's nothing that you'll need to pip install or install. Everything that we'll be using here comes pre-installed with Python. The only thing you'll need is Python and a coding editor for the project. So from math, let's import square root sqrt. So that stands for square root. Now let's create our window. Root. So that creates our window like this one. So now it's tiny, but we'll do the styling and then we'll add the buttons and everything. Now let's now set the default size for our GUI. So you'll have to type root the geometry like that. So let's set it. So the size of our window will set it to 380 by 380, and then now this plus 400, this stands for where we want to position our window on the screen. So that's basically what this does. Now let's set the title for our window. Title. So the title that will be for our window will be calculator. Calculator. Now let's configure the background. So as you can see here, we have a background of some shade of grayish or black. So that will be our background. Let's set that background. So configure bg background. Bg stands for background. So now let's set this color. This will be the shade that we'll be using here. So you can pause the video and type that in. So now let's set our window to don't be resizable so that you cannot maximize or minimize it. Resizable. So we'll set the width to 0 and the height will also be 0. So let's run it and see. So now we have a nicer window. So that's a start. So now let's create our functions. So for this application, we have 5 functions. One will be for the square root. One will be to clear the text field where we'll be entering. So this is our text field right here. This one, this is the text field. So one of the buttons will be to clear. The other button will be to do our square root. And then the other the other function, not button, the other function will be to insert these values into this text field right here. And then we'll have another function to calculate all of this. So let's define our functions now. So the first function will be calculate we'll pass that first. Let's do the square root. And guys, I don't have the best keyboard in the world, so sorry for the typos, but as long as you get the concept of what's going on, that's all that matters. So let's do our buttons. Then we also pass that one. Fine. Clear. So let's pass that one. Then our last function, define all buttons. So in this, our last function is where all our buttons will be. Now right here, just above here, before we do our button function, let's now create the text field. So we'll call it we'll give it a variable name of entry. Let's do text. Now that's the widget that we'll be using for that text field. Let's set that to root. Let's do a width of 30, a height of 2. Let's do a background of white. Forgot the quotations right here. So let's set that. Let's do a border width. So BD of 10. And let's also do a font of 5. Now let's place it on our window. Entry.place x equals 43 and y will set y to 10. So let's run that and see. As you can see, now we have our text field right here. So here is where our values will be going. So that we are done with that. Now let's first do the buttons, because the code for the buttons it's longer. So let's first do the button, and then I will go to our 4 functions just below here. We'll go to these buttons. Let's first do this for all the buttons. So our first button will be button 9. So we are going with this layout right here. So 9, 8, 7, and then we division 6, 5, 4, and then multiplication 3, 2, 1, and then minus 0, and then this will be our dot, and then percentage, plus, square root, clear, and then equals. So we'll be following that layout right there. So let's do our first button. We'll give it a variable name of button9. So we'll be using a widget in Tkinter known as button. So these things are easy. Tkinter, it's so amazing that it named all its widgets as what it means. So we'll do a text of, so the text will be 9. So this will be the value that you'll see on the button. So we use text. We'll do a width of 8. We'll also do a border width of 5, a font of 1. So we don't want it to be the value text, we don't want it to be so big, so we'll use 1 right there. We'll do a background of gray. So this is some shade of gray. So you can also pause you can also pause the video and type that in. So because I already have it, I don't have to type in it. So that's a hex value for that shade of gray. And then now we'll do command. So this will be what will be running our functions. So equals lambda, and then let's do buttons. So most of our buttons will be using this function, except the calculate and the others. So most of the equals buttons and the clear buttons, most of our buttons will be using this function. So that, and then let's do right here, let's type 9. So what this does, it gets that value 9 and then it places it on our text field. So now let's place it on our window. Button 9 dot place. And guys, I know there is a better way to do these buttons, so we can do a for loop and then grid all of this, but because I want this video to be for everyone, beginner, intermediate, I know the better ways, but today we'll be doing this way. So we'll place it on x. We'll set our x to 10, and then we'll do y to equal 100. So these are just the x and y coordinates of our window, so it's nothing fancy. So let's run that. Or we have not yet called the function. Let's first call our function just below right here. So all buttons. Now let's run it and see. As you can see, we have 9, the 9 button. So for each button, we'll be changing our coordinates. The x and the y values will change because we want to place them on different places on our window. So the values will change. So because I don't want to write all of the buttons here right here. So this application has 19 buttons in total. So I'll just copy paste this right here that I've created for 9, and then I will change the values. Is that clear? Yeah, now let's continue. So I'll do 19, that 18 times because we have the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Is that 18? Yeah, I think that should be good. So right there we have all our buttons. So the only thing we'll be changing are the text values and we'll be changing some values here and the coordinates. So let's start with the second button. So this will be button 8. So you may also do that. You create one button and then now you copy paste the rest, and then now you change the values. That's way easier instead of typing all of that, because it will take a whole lot of time. So it's better to do it this way. So button 7. So this will take a little bit of time. So just follow along. And button 6, this will be 5 right here. This will be 4. So naming the variables with the way they represent that button, it's good because you make your code more readable. So if another developer comes and sees your application, they know what that button is. So always try and name your variables into something more readable. So this will be button 2. This will also be button 2. Button 1. Button 1 right here. I know this is taking way longer. I just didn't want to copy paste everything. I could have copied pasted everything because I already have the code, but I want you to follow with the process of how everything is done so that you understand. So our next one will be button 0. So after button 1, we'll go to button 0 and then button dot. So right here will be button 0, button 0, button dot, button dot, and then I will do our button plus, our button minus right here. So we're done with the button dot, button plus, button minus. Oh, plus, this is also plus because we're placing it on our window. Button minus, also button minus right here. Button, now we are on button div. So div stands for divide, so that we'll be using just a short one. Button multi, so multiply. Button multi, also here will be button multi. And then now let's do our button square root. Let's name it square. Also this will be square. Or square. And then I will do button percent, button clear, and then button calculate. So button percent, button percent, and then button clear, button clear, and then will be button calc. So this will run our main function to calculate. We're done with that. That was long, guys. So now let's change the values for all our buttons. Now let's place them on our window, and then I will change the other functions that the button will run. So now here we'll do, so here we'll do 100 by 100. So that will place it on the same line, but it will be on the same row, and we'll place it on the same column as our button 9. So let me run it and see, and you see what I'm saying. Here we have it, so they're on the same line. So for each line we'll be placing 4 buttons. So except the last line that we have 3 buttons. So we are going with 90 90 for the X, 90 90, and then for the Y we'll do 50 50. So for the coordinates will 50 50. So the values for 9 after every 4 buttons will jump from if it is 100, it will be plus 50. For the X we'll do 90 90. So for the spacing, so now let's do here, this will be 190, and then for button 6, so let's first run that. Oh, button 7. Oh, nope. We want that to be 10, because this will be on the next line. So that's 10, and we want this button minus, button divide. Button div will be the one that will be right there above. So here will be 10. No, it will be 100 and 270. 190 plus 90, 10, 280. So this will be 280. So go to button divide, and yeah, just like that. So we have 4 buttons on that line. So that's what we'll be doing. 3 buttons for our values, and then for our operators. Then the fourth value will be for our operators. So here we have 6. So here will be 150. Also 150 for our button 450. So change the Y values only. So now let's do as just like we did above for button 9, 8, and 7. So here will be 100. Here will be 190. So now we are going to the next one. So we'll have 200. 200 also here. Here will be 100. 190 for the X. For the Y will be 200. 200. So hope nobody is confused. So we are changing the values. Like I said, the Y we are going to, after every 4 buttons we are adding 50. So if these buttons, like here, if these buttons we place them on a Y coordinate of 100, the next button should be on a Y coordinate of 150. So here we have 4. So just like that, it's not that complicated. So here we'll do 280. No, after 190, that will be 10. That's okay. So let me first see this window right here. Yeah, 0.% and then plus. So that's what we'll be doing, and all of these text values will change and all of these button values will change. So you'll see that in just a minute or so. So let's first continue changing these values right here. So here we did 200, so button 0 will be 250. Also 100 for the X and 190. So let's run that and see. As you can see, our window is coming along well. So don't worry about the color, we'll change the colors and everything. So button minus. Also our minus in where's our minus will be on the third line. Our multiply will be on the second, our division will be on the first. So right here our minus will place it on the third. So where is it? Right here. Our third is at 200. So 200 will be there. And then this will be 280. So let's run that. Yeah, that's good. That's coming along well. So but on multi we saw it on our second. So this will be also 280 for the X value. And then this will be 150. Just like that. So as you can see, our buttons are coming along well. So where is our square root again? On the third, right there. So we'll do this square right here. It will be on the X value will be 190, and then the Y value will be 100, and I will be 200 because it is on our third line. So that's good. That's coming along well. So what will be our next one? Button percent. Oh, the square root will be below. So sorry for that. So the X will be 10, and then the Y will be 250. Let me see. Nope, it will be 300. Let's run that and see. Yep, here below. We want it right here below, just here. So now let's do the percentage one. So this one was the one that was supposed to be 190, and then we'll do it at 200. Yeah, it should be there. Let me change the value of that to be percent. So that's not supposed to. It should be at 250. Yeah, for the Y. The Y should be 250 right here. So yeah, right there. The Y should be there. For the percentage, now let's do the clear and the calculate buttons. So those are the ones that are remaining. So for clear will be 100, and this will be, for the clear will be 100, and then this will be 300. So for the equals buttons, it will be 236 by 300, and then the Y will be 300. So let's run that and see. Yep. Now we have all the buttons. Now let's change the value. This part was longer than I anticipated, but please don't get tired. That's how you make great programs. So that's 9, 7, or 8. 8. Change that one to 7 for the text. 7, 8. So guys, I've shown you how you can make all the buttons. So I think it will be for to make this video not that long. It will be good for me just to copy paste the code that I have and just put it here, and then I'll explain it, because rewriting everything right here, or let's just rewrite it. It will be good for me to copy paste. Yeah. So 6. So you may put this video at times 1 point something if you want it to be faster. So 5, 5, 4, 3, 3. Telling you this is so tiring, guys. This is so tiring. 2, 1, 1, 0, 0. So for the dot, we'll have to change it. So we'll be using some Unicode value right here. Yeah. So that when you put the keyboard dot, it's way smaller. So when you look at it on the UI, you're not seeing it well. So I found this on Google. So and that's what we'll be using. That will just leave it as dot. So guys, as you can see, our window is changing. As you can see, everything is coming along well. So where we are on plus, right here, plus, minus, right there. Now divide. So for the divide also, I found another Unicode value to make it way more stylish for the GUI. So where's that value? So you may pause the video and type this out on your terminal. So right here, div, and type it on your editor or terminal. Sorry for that. Also here on the buttons. So we want to make this application as user friendly as we can. So multi will be used there. Also there will use that. And then for the square root also, we have a Unicode value for the square root. So all of these you can find them on Google. So you just type U and then quotations with the square right here, right there, right there. So we already done the percent, and then also the clear button, we have a Unicode value. So that x, that enclosed x value is what I mean. So right here also, now we are not changing that. So now for the equals, just like that. Then here we change this. We won't be using that function for that. So here we'll use calculate for the equals. So you just write command equals calculate. So for the clear, we'll also use the function that we defined below, equals clear. Also for our square root, we'll use the function that we defined below above. So it will be right here will be square root. So now we have, I think we have everything that we need. So let's run it and see. Yeah, that looks good. So now let's make it as, let's style these buttons a little bit, and then I will do the functions. So I know the video is longer, but please just watch it, and I know you'll by the end you'll be happy by what you'll have accomplished. So for all of these buttons, for all of operator buttons, we'll change the color starting from here, right here. Or not button 1. So button 1 will just be the same. So for all our operators, we'll use orange for the buttons. So right here, starting from where is it, from 0? Or let me run this and see first. Now starting from dot and the rest. Oh, where's the plus? Oh, 280. So for the plus will be 280. Change that. Yeah, now we have everything that we need for our window. So next what will you do? Oh, changing the colors. So starting from dot right here, we'll change the backgrounds for our buttons. So just copy this value and change all of the button, all of the bg values, the background values. So Control V. Also there. So we'll just see the results in just a second. Like that. So let's remove that 3 right there. Now let's run that and see. Yeah. Now that looks way more like what we want to achieve at the end of the video. So now we'll change up the font. I think is it the font or the width or the border width. So let me see first. Or we'll add a height. Equals to 2, comma. Let me see that first. Yep, that's more like it. We'll also change our width to 13. So this will be for our calculate, our clear button, our equals button. our clear button. So those are the buttons that we want them to be bigger. So we'll just get this. Just like that. And then the square root right here. Let's run that and see. Yeah, now that looks more like it. So here we'll change our width. I think that was 10. No, 13. 8. Yep. Now that looks like more like this one. So except that it doesn't have the functionality. So they look similar. So now let's add functionality. Let's do the functions just above. Now let's go back to the functions. So this will be faster. So let's now do this buttons. So we'll do entry dot insert. So now we are inserting the values into our text field. So from end, and then you're getting the text. So let's pass first this text value right here. So we'll be getting this. I'm placing it on our like this. As you see, now we can get the 9 value. So let's, oh, we cannot clear now. So that's what we want to achieve. Like that, we are getting the value. So that's why we have used insert here. So now let's do the clear button, the clear function. Entry dot delete 1.0 from the beginning. So 1.0 starts from here. So it starts from here, it gets the value, and then it to the end. So it gets the value from here to the end, to where the values will be, and then it clears them. So delete and then to end. Let's run that now and see if we can clear. Let's clear. As you can see, when you click on the clear button, yeah, it clears everything on the text field. So that works well. Now let's do the square root function. So we'll write a variable known as get all. So entry dot get. Now we are getting all the values that are entered on the, when you click on button on the, when the button functions works, it places the value. Now we want to get those values and now do the calculations. So it will be 1.0 to the end. So and this end is uppercase, so don't forget that. Then value equals to, we're doing another value variable known as value get all. Now answer equals to square root sqrt. So that's why we imported the math library to do for us the square root. And then now let's pass this value, this variable value. Now let's do entry dot delete. So we want when we get this value, we delete. After doing the math, we delete that value and then I'll place the new value of our calculation. So again, and then entry dot insert. So it will be 1.0, then answer, that answer variable. So it will put this value to the from the beginning. So that does it for the square root. Now let's do the calculate. So the calculate is similar to the square root. We'll also do the get all, variable name known as get all again. So, and guys, I know there are better ways to do this, but just follow with me. I wanted to make the video that so that everybody can understand what I'm doing. So 1.0 again, and then end. So we are getting the values again, and then we do value get all. I know I'm repeating myself, get all, but I just love to make clean code. So value equals. Now because I'll be using eval does not understand when you use this. So let me first do r dot sub, so that now let's run that. So when you do that when it sees that x, eval does not understand what this, even Python does not understand what that is. So we'll change this value to something like to the star value that Python understands for. Python understands for multiplication. So that's what we'll be doing. And we'll also change this value for the division to this value for the division. So let's first submit this one, and then the Unicode value that we got right here for our division. So now we'll submit it with something that Python understands. That's a slash, and then value. You see? Now let's do for the percentage, and also for the multiplication. So that we'll do it 3 times. So we want to change this x right here. Just like that. We want to change that x to that star. And then we also want to change this percentage sign to slash 100 for the percentage. Then now let's do it just like we did it right here. So I'll just copy this and do it right there. So we'll just change these values right here. So I'll remove the int, and then we'll place the eval, just like that. So now we have everything we need. Let's see if our calculator works. So now it's time to see if everything that we have been doing is working. So let's do 50 times 3 equals, amazing, the calculator works. So let's also do let's clear that. Let's do the square root. So it will be 300 square root. As you can see, our square root works. So let's do 9, and then click on the square root 3. So the square root of 9 is 3. So that works well. here. Let's do 23 minus 7. As you can see, your calculator works well. So guys, that's it for the video. I know it has been longer than I anticipated, but hope you loved it. So if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more, and don't forget to leave a like. So thank you, and let's meet on the next video.